Welcome to Azur Lane Meta. It is that time of the month again where we do meta-analysis. This time is for the month of July, and you guys know the drill, so let's get right into it. Here, looking at the pie chart, you can notice really quick there is a lot more pink this month. Pink represents minor factions, and I did the math this time after reading your comments. 90% of this minor factions for this month go to the French. Obviously, the other factions, minor factions, include the Russians and the Italians. They did have some usage, but 90% of that pink section is going to be the French. And that means that the French solidify themselves as the third most popular fleet behind Namagi, or the Japanese main fleet, and the HMS fleet. So Namagi doesn't really see much difference. They still hold very strong. We still see, the French fleet's creeping up on the British, but still behind them. And Waryu fleets took probably the biggest hit, and everything else kind of stays more the same. So if we go look at the raw usage for each individual ship, we see our 6 main culprits that are just dominant. That's Nagato, Amagi, Warspite, Yukikaze, Juno, and Noshiru. All 6 of those ships have over 100 use cases for all the servers. So they are just dominant. Richelieu, we, like I said, see a steady increase in the usage there, so that's nice to see. If we look at the most popular composition of main fleet, we actually see a change. Not too exciting, but it is now Namagi Spite overtakes Namagi Ru. While Warspite has been the third most popular ship, the most popular composition has been actually with Hiru. So Namagiru, for this month at least, is no longer the most popular main fleet composition. The most popular Vanguard composition is going to be Azuma, Yukikaze, and Juno, barely edging out the Juno, Yukikaze, and Noshiru. And that is expected. We see the trend of, Azuma just being more popular. Speaking of trends, let's go look at the trends. We can see right here, we see a steady trend for the pink line there, the French fleet. All of the gains made by the minor factions, or that pink line, were made by French fleets. So that's basically all the gains are French fleets there. Everything else kind of stays the same. Namagi stays pretty around that 50% mark. Most everything else stays pretty much the same. We see Waryu take a big dive though, so that's there. Hiru in general took a big dive. You can't really see it in this graph, but that Namagi composition shifted a little bit from Namagi Ru to Namagi Spite. So the biggest loser of this month, definitely Hiru. Okay, let's go take a look at the heat map. I like to provide this for you guys all the time, but there's not really a significant thing I want to point out, but you can pause the video and take a look at any ship that you want and see what is used with. You can see what people are using Richelieu with and things like that. So it might surprise you, it's not just French factions that are using Richelieu. She can be used as just a barrage ship because, she's good. Alright, so that's the main 4 servers, but we have the Amagi server, which we are still keeping separate because it is still a baby server. We have most of the meta there now, but we're still missing Warspite Retrofit, we're still missing Noshiru, and most people are still way behind in their PRs, so we don't really have viable PR ships in the Amagi server. So it's a fun little experiment to see what's going on in that server. First things first is the most popular ship is Richelieu. Well, actually the most popular main fleet ship. The most popular ship is Yukikaze. But Richelieu actually beats out Amagi and Nagato and all that. And we can see Jean Bart is here at 4th. So very popular French fleets in the Amagi server. So that's kind of, if I recall, all top 3 players who got 1st, 2nd, 3rd all used French fleets. So that's kind of exciting to see it change, and that's expected because in the main 4 servers we've had Nagato and Amagi for so long that people, have them at 120 oath with 200 affinity. And even if the French faction comes in and they become as strong, it's still going to be hard to get all those Japanese players that are entrenched there to switch over to being a French player. So I expect, it to be hard to kind of change. And you can see that if you go back and look at the graph, that Namagi has stayed pretty constant, but the French faction has made gains opposed to the other factions. So here, though, in the Amagi server, the Nagato event actually came after the French event. We got Amagi, then we got the Richelieu event, and then we got Nagato. So there is no entrenchment. All of the ships came together, and so you can choose whichever ship you want to level up and use that ship. So it's a little more fair. So I'm kind of interested to see that. Now, of course, Nagato is brand new for the month of July, so we might actually see a lot more usage when, in the next coming months as people level her up. For example, I'm still leveling up my Nagato on my Amagi server account. So I expect there to be more Japanese fleets in the future, but it is exciting to see, something other than the Japanese meta doing well in the baby server on Amagi. And that's not the only thing that's exciting. We actually hit the top level of boosts on my Discord server. There are no higher levels. You guys have maxed out on the boost levels for my Discord server. So you guys, congratulations. You get all the benefits, and thank you guys for all the boosts. You really do help the community. And this is the first video where I get to say that you can come and join my Discord server at the discord.gg/Azur Lane meta link. Now, thanks to that. So it really is a fun community if you guys want to learn how to, play the game optimally, or if you just want to hang out. It's pretty cool. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this meta analysis video. Subscribe to the channel if you want more Azur Lane content.